How's it going, anime lovers? My name is David, and I want to become the best anime YouTuber in the world. So I know that's a pretty random way to start this video, but the reason why I said that is because I've been doing some soul searching lately, and one of the things I've come to realize is that if I'm not 100% committed to this channel, I will never be successful no matter how hard I think I'm working. Plus, it feels like something has been missing on this channel for a very long time. So hopefully putting out this message to the world will give this channel the direction it needs to become the best that it can be. Speaking of being the best, I realize that saying that carries with it a lot of weight and responsibility that I may not quite understand yet, since I'm pretty much a nobody right now. But I know deep in my heart that this is what I truly want out of life, and I just want to be honest with you guys about my desires from here on out. With that being said, I know that it's going to take some time before I can truly be known as the best anime YouTuber in the world. So for now, I will be concentrating my efforts on becoming the best anime YouTuber I can be for you. What I mean by that is, if I'm gonna be the best anime YouTuber in the world, then I know that I must first take some steps to make you guys believe it. And so I'm gonna start by making this channel become the best place to discuss the best anime out there. Therefore, I will be starting a brand new series today in which I will be determining what was the best new anime from each new season. Now, before you guys start typing about how this video is so late since the summer season of anime is over already, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I wanted to have all my favorite new anime from the season finished first so that I could give you guys an informed recommendation. I would just feel bad if an anime I recommended turned out to be shit by the end of it, which I feel like has already happened before on this channel. With that being said, I watched all of the new anime that came out during the 2022 summer season, and let me tell you, starting the series has really opened my eyes to how bland my tastes in anime really were, since there were some anime that I ended up really liking, even though I normally wouldn't have watched them on my own time. So out of all the new anime that came out, there was one anime that really stood out of the pack, since it was an anime that I was not expecting to like at all, but now I am convinced that I have found the best new anime from the 2022 summer season, which is an original anime called Lycoris Recoil. At first, I was kind of skeptical about how this anime was going to go, given that I just don't normally watch anime that looks too realistic. And seeing that the main characters were anime schoolgirls didn't really appeal to me at first. But Lycoris Recoil managed to convince me to give it a chance with its charming leading duo and by having the best written story out of all the new anime from this summer season. So in the world of Lycoris Recoil, Japan happens to be the safest country in the world, thanks in part to the licorice that helps maintain the peace by deterring potential crimes. You can think of the licorice kind of like the Men in Black, in which they are a secret organization, except instead of dapper adults protecting the Earth from the scum of the universe, the Lycoris are anime schoolgirls who are secretly protecting the streets of Tokyo, Japan from criminals and terrorists. During the first episode, a squad of Lycoris were in the middle of a shootout with terrorists after confronting them about a weapons deal that didn't go quite as planned. Even though the Lycoris were given information about a huge deal going down involving a huge haul of guns being sold, the guns were nowhere to be found when the Lycoris showed up, which meant that the Lycoris were given the wrong information, and that just made everyone confused. To make matters worse, a Lycoris was being held hostage during the shootout, and another Lycoris named Takina Inoue decided to take matters into her own hands by killing all the criminals in order to save her comrade's life. even though she was given orders to stand down by her commanding officer from the Lycoris organization called Direct Attack, aka DA. With no one left alive to be questioned about where the guns went after Takina's disobedience of orders, Takina was punished by being transferred to another Lycoris branch where she could learn to be a better agent under the top Lycoris in the country named Chisato Nishikigi, and this is when the plot starts to get interesting. What I loved about this setup was that the story made it seem like the rest of it was going to be about Takina and Chisato taking on odd jobs and seeing how their different personalities would play off of each other, kind of like a buddy cop flick, which would have certainly been quite entertaining since their chemistry together was one of the best parts of this show. However, this assumption was quickly shattered by how fast yet efficiently Takina's character development was handled. Instead of dragging out how sad Takina was about being transferred from the DA for the majority of the season, the plot surprisingly allowed Takina to make peace with being transferred from the DA by the third episode, and then quickly goes back to the thread it started with the failed weapons deal raid by throwing in more information during every new episode about who was involved in setting up that arms deal, more antagonists coming out to play later on who were involved with that deal, and important details being slowly revealed about the past of many characters, making the plotline that started at the beginning of this anime an even bigger deal than I would have imagined. It was quite simply incredible to see the plotline evolve into something bigger over time, and to do it all in just 13 episodes is an achievement in and of itself. Now, while I'm not going to go into specific details about what happens later on to make the initial plot more interesting, all I'm going to say is that the anime eventually explores the consequences of having a secret organization that maintains the public's perception of peace, and what were to happen if someone were to try and expose them, which was a very interesting idea to see unfold, since this plot progression sounded like something straight out of a Batman comic. As for the other reason why I love this anime, I would be remiss if I didn't explain why Chisato and Takina were so enjoyable to watch. To sum it up briefly, Chisato and Takina had very different personalities, with Chisato being a very cheerful and easygoing person, and Takina being very serious and methodical. This contrast in personalities was quite entertaining to watch, since Chisato was trying to teach Takina the joys of life outside of work and what it meant to value all life while on the job, which was something that Takina never considered when working as a Lycoris for the DA, since she was very independent-minded. As I mentioned earlier, Chisato is also considered the top Lycoris in Japan, and one of the reasons why is because she has a talent for predicting bullet trajectories, which looks like she's essentially dodging bullets. While we do get to see Chisato flexing these skills throughout the season when she's taking on jobs protecting people, half of the time, the action scenes in this anime were balanced out by Chisato's disguise as an employee of a sweets cafe called Lycoris Recoil. This is a branch that's independent from the DA, and since they don't answer directly to them, Lycoris Recoil instead focuses more on protecting individuals that the DA doesn't deem important enough to be on their radar. So we get to see Chisato and Takina sometimes doing odd jobs, such as bodyguarding people who are experiencing stalking, being tour guides for very important people whose lives may be endangered by going out into public, and other small jobs such as delivering coffee to the Yakuza and teaching English to children. Although these jobs may sound like a deterrent from the main plot, the jobs that the anime chose to focus on for some episodes were actually quite relevant to the story. And another thing that I thought was clever was how the anime always threw in hints and foreshadowing throughout each episode of important stuff happening outside of these jobs to make what the girls were doing while being employees of the Lycoris Recoil even more interesting to follow. While Lycoris Recoil may look like an anime that doesn't have much going for it at first, looks can be deceiving, as this anime had so many things going on in the story that it could have easily resulted in a convoluted mess, since there were only 13 episodes to fit it all. However, all of it managed to work together perfectly like a well-oiled machine. The anime schoolgirl trope was used sensibly as a part of the plot. The antagonists were well written. The side characters felt like their presence actually mattered since they contributed so much to the progression of the story, and the main characters were the glue that held this sensational experience together and carried the anime to the end without a hitch. So if you haven't seen Lycoris Recoil yet, then I highly recommend you watch this anime simply because it checks off everything you could ever ask for out of a great anime. And that is why I consider it to be the best new anime from the 2022 summer season. Alright guys, that is going to be it for me today, so let me know what you guys thought about my pick for the best new anime from the summer season in the comments, and if you don't agree, then I want to know what anime caught your attention this season. Also, if you enjoyed watching this video, please hit that like button and also subscribe if you haven't yet to keep up with any new videos I will be posting in the future. Also, I announced a while back that if this channel hits 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year, I will be doing a 1,000 minutes live stream to celebrate. So if that interests you at all, then please help this channel out by subscribing if you haven't yet and sharing this video with friends or family who may also enjoy it. So thank you guys for watching this video, and now I'll see you anime lovers next time.